the point. I have people I talk to, and when I talk to them every day, and when I talk, I just find we laugh more than anything else. Sometimes it's something that I did. I told you the guys, I had a thing of sour cream and I'm shaking it and it's open. Why didn't I use a spoon? So then it's all over the kitchen floor and the cupboards and everything. And then you know me, I don't want to do this. That's why there's a lady that comes today to do it. But she wasn't there. I couldn't leave it like this. So I'm telling my friends and she's laughing. And it's funny because yes, I have all the tools, but yet I still messed up. But it's okay though. It gets better. You fix it. You will survive it. You will get on top of it. A boulder will come beneath your feet. A hand will reach down to grab you by the hair, by the scruff of your neck. Somebody will push you up with their shoulders and hold you until you can reach the next rung. Somehow, some way, it must work out. You will get there, you know. It's only consistency, persistency, believing that you can. And if you say you can, yes, you can. You do not have to have somebody tell you you can. They will tell you all the reasons why you cannot. And you know that already. So when you are sitting there and you feel that everybody has surpassed you in success, stop and look at your successes. Maybe the successes you're experiencing is a wonderful family, successful children that are respectful and kind, a spouse that loves you, a dog that you train that really gives you some satisfaction. Or laughter. My friend has a boxer and you think she's another human being in her house. Sometimes I would run away from home. But that gives her joy. And that is what you have to remember. Look for the reasons and the times that you were successful. Look for the small things you did and you got success from it. Look for it because it is there. Stop looking at the failures. Stop telling people stories about what you're going through that they cannot help you to fix. Ask yourself this question. My friend is really good at science and I want her to help me finance. No, she can't. And then maybe she's honest enough to say, listen, man, I am 10 times worse than you when it comes to money. And when you are good at something and somebody is taking you down, like my friend did one day at a book club, man, did I step on her toe. One of the ladies said, Tessa-Marie said that my son is ready to buy his house. He has the money. He has his down payment. Miss Know-All jumped into the conversation and said, oh, so because Tessa-Marie said he's ready to buy a house, he's going to buy a house? I was there. I said, yes, because I am his financial advisor. That's what I do. And I said, you are a nurse. There is no way I can tell you how to put a needle in somebody's behind. But one thing I do know, you cannot do what I can do with $1. There were 12 women there, and I said, you cannot do what I can do with $1. And I don't know how to give somebody an injection. So stay in your lane. Yes, he's ready to buy his house. This is the young man that will pay off his house by the time he's 41, 5 years from now. So you think? So when you have your gift, your talent, and somebody is telling you you're not good enough, you're not qualified, do not let them take your spiritual determination and prosperity from you. We need to have a connection with all what we do. So imagine a musician who only feels talented if the audience cheers. If the room is silent, they believe they have lost the gift. People tell me, because there's 5 of you here, 3 of you over here, why do you skip doing the morning blessing? You don't have a lot of people coming. And you know what I say? When I was sitting in my chair in my living room with my phone in my hand, sending out the messages to my children, I only have 3 children. And I was sending it to 2 of them. Because at the beginning, my son was just going, oh, mom and her mumbo jumbo. So I wouldn't send it to him. So here I am, turning 80 in 6 weeks, right? 6 weeks. And I'm doing it. So I do not need cheering from others. I need you, if you come, if you hear something, if you take something from there and you don't need it, give it to the person you know that needs it. But if you get that little nugget that you are good enough, that you can do it, then use it. That's why I come. I don't care if there are 20 million thousand people following me or coming to the morning blessing. Or you could monetize. You know how many years of monetize. If at 80 I cannot figure out how to make $1, doing TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all the others, and YouTube will, at 80, I don't care. I'm not telling you. If $1 comes, I'll say no. But that is not my purpose. I do it because I desire to have fun doing it. So I like that musician. I do not need a room. I play because I play. I play because I like music. I write stories because I love to write. And if my books on Amazon sells, if somebody wants a book for a child and they're looking at and they get it and Amazon sends me my $1, because that's all you get, I am happy with the $1. I didn't have that $1 last week. Remember my $1.75 when I started saving that? When Loretta and I started that, when we got a 25 cents raise, we said, well, we didn't have that 25 cents raise last week. We better save it. We did it together. And today she winters in the Caribbean. Every January she goes for months to the Caribbean. But that $1.75 and the 25 cents raise mattered. So when Amazon sends me $1, yippee! I put it in my Amazon book sale. Doesn't have a lot of money, but I did it. One day, when my grandson was 5 and he saw my first book, Controlling the Death Monster, he called his father. And he goes, Dad, did you realize that my Grammy is an author? My son said to him, my guy, do you think I'm new? Just like that. When he called to tell his father about the stories, the one that is the Archibald and Daisy Soursop, that book on Amazon, and he's telling him about Archibald happened, all I heard my son say, man, your books are violent. My books were nice. My stories were nice. Your book is so violent. He said, I still love it. That's what my grandson said. So that is enough for me. When he got his copy for Christmas, because I just did the book at Christmas, he called, he said, Grammy, he's 17. And he said, Grammy, I cannot believe you verbalized in writing that story. He was so pleased. He said, it's so good and a memory that I will never know. I have it. And that's what you do things for the people in your life, the husband that looks at the cake you made or the dinner, the wife that looks at the flowers, you will say, oh, they're so nice, they're so beautiful. That's what you do it for. The friend that tells you, I will help you, that's who you do it for. The person that cheers you on, the 6 of you that come here between TikTok and Instagram, however many, you guys pass through, you give a love, you give a like, that's good enough. You spend a minute, but if in that minute you got one little thing to realize, go on the stage and perform. It doesn't matter who's looking at you because you should do it, and that is integrity. Integrity is doing what you would do when you have a crowd or when you're by yourself. That's integrity, and that's what matters. So spiritual pillars are crumbling because they are tied to the hands of strangers, expecting somebody to like what you're doing. You don't need that. Is all you need. So if you tie your self-acceptance, just like the musician I just talked about, to your partner's mood or your boss's feedback, you aren't a performer. You are a prisoner. Did you hear that? If you take your self-acceptance, this is long, but guys, bear with me. Based on your partner's mood or your boss's feedback, you aren't a performer. You are a prisoner. Spiritual prosperity is the ability to play your music in an empty room and still know it is beautiful. That's what it is. You see, self-acceptance isn't something you reach. It is the place you start from. I'm good enough. I have it. I know I can. And I'm going to do it. It might take longer than it took so and so, but that's okay. Because the Desirata told me there are people that are greater and better than me. And there's some that are less than me. So I know that for sure, but I'm going to just stay in my lane. Do not look back at those running behind me or try to keep up with those ahead of me. Just do my best. That's the four agreement. The best one is do your best. Once you know you have done your best, when the critic said to you, is that what you, yeah, did my best. Once you say, I did my best, you shut them off. So the end of the bottom line is this. If your happiness is an outside-in job, from outside to in you, if that is what is happening, you are at the mercy of a world you cannot control. True prosperity is an inside-out job. It is. Spiritual prosperity is an inside-out job. I know I can do it. I feel the energy of what I can do. And that's what I'm going to do. So, my blessing for you today, if you have left it on the sidewalk and somebody is now crushing it and you're feeling bad about it, this is for you. May you reclaim the power of your own joy today. Yes, may you reclaim the power of your own joy today. May you do that.